Hello everybody, welcome to Friday Facts number 387, Swimming in Lava. It's fantastic Mr. Ghost, your narrator. And here we have some blurb from V, and they're talking about the Vulcanus planet, basically, and other things that are going to be kind of available for all the other planets, too, including Novice. The last Friday Facts, we covered the natural landscape of Vulcanus. I'm going to say Vulcanus, which mostly showed the visuals. But you're probably aware we already put gameplay first. Now it's time to find out what kind of greater good you can do to the planet. Planet designs start. So they're going to go over some of the history here and how they kind of created this stuff here. So in early 2021, when Kovarex and I were trying to make a high-level general plan of what the expansion should be, it was obvious the direction leads upwards to space, which in our eyes kind of automatically meant also visiting other planets. The obvious next question would be, what is a planet? What does it mean? How is it different from Novice? And how many of them do we want? Okay, so, you gotta start high level, and then you drill down. Obviously, it's a part of planning here. And how many planets? In Factorio, progression has always been linked to science, so it is intuitive that every new planet would yield a new science pack, unlocking more parts of the technology tree. This often means a lot of progress is very linear, with some exceptions that you can choose to progress in a different order, and they use a utility and production science as an example there, where you can build either one first or second. So and usually people, I go for the bots first because then I can do a bot hub, bot-based hub. It's a lot easier to do it with bots. But ultimately you arrive to a single goal at the end, so we knew one planet had to be the last. Okay, so I think it's like 3 planets. Like we got Novice, maybe 2 other or 3 other, and then we have a final planet. You can't do anything on it until maybe other 3 are done. Since a significant part of the expansion is the space platform with space logistics, it's hard to imagine an expansion with only 1 planet. In fact, we think less than 2 or 3 additional planets isn't quite making good use of the space logistics. This left us with 4 new planets as the sweet spot between satisfying progression and minimal repetition. Okay. So I'm assuming it's, Novice, 3 others? Yeah. I think that's what they're doing. I can't remember the last couple Friday Facts. But we know it's Vulcanus now and Novice, so there's the 2. We haven't seen anything else yet. As we've already mentioned, while it's easy to assume that Novice would remain to be the location of the main factory for most players, we really wanted to avoid the situation where the new planets become just mining outposts. We wanted the player to build something that feels like a worthy factory on each of the planets. Now, this is the problem with space exploration mod, is that you're just going to a planet to build a mining op, and then you just go back there to upgrade the parts, and, maybe you're rebuilding some things. And one thing I don't like about the space exploration mod is that they limit you on certain resources that are so important, like water, iron and coal, copper. In some cases, if you add K2, like I'm doing with my playthrough, my K2 SE playthrough, you're limited on rare metals, maybe mineral water, things like that, oil even. And it really becomes more of a frustration, and you're like, okay, I hope it gets better. I hope it gets better. And so you're doing all this extra crap just for later to have it not matter, because then you'll get other planets, So it does get kind of frustrating. So let's carry on here. And the reason I bring up space exploration is because they hired Arendal, and they're modeling this after space exploration with traveling around. Now, you won't be able to travel on the spaceships like you can in space exploration, from what it seems. The platform's just, you build it from like a god view, and then you set it off, and it does its thing. Maybe you can follow the platform to make sure it's working, obviously, so it's kind of like a static entity with the screen moving, So after you land on a planet, you need to launch rockets again in order to get back into space. Oh, okay. At the start, this is more of a throwback to again experience the stranded feeling. This time, the process is already greatly accelerated since you have all the technologies, and your space platform can bring you a lot of construction materials. However, building the rocket infrastructure 4 times starts to feel repetitive. So we definitely aim to have each of the planet's recipes simplify or completely skip some parts. Okay. So yeah, they're trying to think about the repetition here. The expansion generally puts a lot more emphasis on the stability of your factory, but it's Factorio, and some things always go wrong. It's easy to imagine your novice or space platforms aren't having the best time while you're on a different planet. To prevent locking your progress if novice gets cut off or completely overrun, we need to include a way to craft pretty much all of the rocket parts on any planet. And that's a good thing. That's a good thing. All of this combined means that when finding the theme and resources for planets, they should generally slot into some area of Factorio in a nice way, while being fresh and unique too. And because we apparently just love contradictions, we want an experience that feels new without having to learn too many recipes per planet. On top of that, adding new recipes was made even more difficult due to the recycler, which was already in the game as part of the quality branch before we started work on any of the planets. If an item has alternative recipes, it's not clear which ingredients should be returned on recycling this item. This makes adding alternative recipes pretty much a no-no. Oh, okay. We had a rough plan on how many planets we would like, some general limitations we knew we needed to follow, and some disconnected ideas for mechanics and features. Then we asked Arundel to attempt to fill these brackets with both visual and gameplay themes, which, apart from the planet terrain you've already seen, translates into new recipes and machines. Okay. So we got the foundry here. The main crafting theme of Vulcanus is metallurgy, and this large structure is its main representation. That's pretty cool. So this is the animation here. This is the static image here. And it's all pipes, baby. All pipes. But I think I think this is a molten thing. But you have to get the hard... Oh, no, I think it takes the volcanic magma or lava. I think it's lava on the surface. So it would be lava. Visual design of the foundry here. So let's play this first so you get an idea what we're looking at here. Now it's got some audio to it, which I don't have going through here. So it's taking the... I'm going to pause it. Okay, so it's taking the... here it is, right here. We got an offshore pump. Taking the lava, pumping it in. And we don't have any kind of, visuals here as to what's going on. It's outputting here stone. And it's throwing it back in the lava here to be removed. And then we've got some kind of material here that's being mined. And I would imagine it's it's titanium or something. And then we're getting a liquid form out, maybe. Looks like we got some other stuff here. I don't know what this would be. Okay, so let's read up here. Visual design of the foundry. Heavy industrial, powerful. Often it's enough for Arundel to create a concept art just by drawing in 2D. But this machine has a lot of massive moving parts with a lot of rotational movement, looping animations, and space restrictions for each part. This made Arundel block out most of the main shapes in 3D, and to do so in a lot more detail than usual on the left. Okay. Later, he would do a new drawing over the gray render to figure out the details and textures on the right. Okay. All right. From there, it was down to Jersey to build this monster into its final form. Yeah, that's a pretty big machine for vanilla Factorio. In fact, that's almost like a space, launching silo. Pretty cool stuff. You could probably tell Jersey had a good time. All right. A lot of work also went into the sound design between Ian creating the sounds and Donion implementing the new system for how entities can play sounds. I'm sure you can expect a Friday Facts about that one beautiful day For now, we can just marvel at how the foundry looks and sounds. Okay. Yeah, it's just got like a noise, just in case you're wondering. It's more than just Vulcanus furnace. Oh, it's more than just a Vulcanus furnace. From the visuals, it's apparent it's going to require a lot of energy to run, but what do we get for the investment? The foundry can handle molten metals or even lava itself. There we go. The unique recipes on the planet are about tungsten processing, which eventually leads into metallurgic science pack made from this machine. Oh, so we get a science pack from that machine, from what I understand there. It's been mentioned above how alternative recipes are a problem in part due to recycling. This isn't the case for smelting and chemical processes, as the recycler returning ingredients of these transformative recipes just doesn't make any sense. So recycling an iron plate will just return an iron plate with 25% chance. This is important because we can have the foundries use different recipes for smelting without any issues. Bringing the foundry back home to Novice or any other place feels very rewarding because it crafts very quickly and you can start distributing molten iron and copper instead of the finished plates. I wonder what the benefit of that would be though, because usually plate compress it, unless you only need like one molten iron for 10 plate, you know, once you can cast it, because that would make sense then. It's all about compression at this point. So if you're transporting molten from planet to planet, then yeah, it would make sense to do that. Like within space exploration as an example, you're taking the ore and you're processing it into ingots. And the ingots, you can, I think it's like 100, they stack to 100, and you could put 50, or it's 500 slots times 100, and the plate is 10 from each ingot. So it's like 500,000 plate or something like that if I do the math. So what you're looking for is compression, and then you it's compact for transport, and then what do you call it? Unpacked once you get to the location. So you're rewarded by that. Okay, so continuing on here, it says, better yet, from the molten iron and molten copper, we can cast more advanced items like iron gear wheels, copper cable, or even steel directly. Recycling an iron gear wheel will still return iron plates, but it's less efficient than making the iron plates from molten iron straight up. Okay, so here, oh yeah, this is what we've got, a nice little animation here. So you can see that we're casting the iron into plate and then gears. I love this. And then the copper is coming in here and casting into copper plate, or wire in this case. And then look at this. We're casting low density structures from all the copper, steel, and plastic. That's interesting. We got, oh, look at this. They got this compressing here. Oh, look. That's pretty cool. I like the animation. I didn't notice this part here. And because we want to make specifically the rocket part production easier, the foundry can also craft the normal recipe of low density structures. Copper and steel plate for low density structures are much easier to craft too. Okay. Perhaps the biggest advantage is that the foundry has a built-in 50% productivity bonus, which can be further boosted with the machine's 4 productivity modules. So there you go. Big mining drill. Tungsten ore is hard to mine, and normal mining drills aren't capable of it. At the start, you can find tungsten ore in rocks all over the surface of Vulcanus. But with this mining drill, you can start to mine it in large quantities, the way we like it. The new usurper of natural resources, the new exploiter of planet surfaces, the new cause of mass pollution, powerful enough to mine the tungsten ore. Yes, there it is. All right, the visual design of the big drill, or big mining drill. Mining drills are an essential part of Factorio. I would even argue it's one of the most important entities. Side by side to the iconic assembly machine for crafting, there is the mining drill for planet exploitation and devastation of environment. Well, I guess you could say that. This means we've put a lot of thought into the visual design. The key word for the electric mining drill we redesigned in 2019 were aggressive ground penetration, violence, and power exerted against the soil. Okay. We have followed this direction again, but wanted to exaggerate all of these even more and represent that it can wreck the land faster and in a bigger area. Okay. I don't know what this is here. I guess these are the... This is like the drilling component? I don't see it on this here. Let's see here. Oh, there's another video here. Okay, so being bigger and more massive tends to invite making the enemy or entity taller. But if you remember, we have already walked this path before with the electric mining drill. While we soon after realized we need to attach it to the ground more, so we did in the last minute before 1.0 release. For the mining mechanism itself, we chose a set of 4 excavating wheels which circulate inwards, where the ore is being sucked in by the mechanism above. We had doubled down on the ground-attached rails that the mining head travels on, and we have raised the holding structure in the direction of the output, which gives the drill directionality and a taller presence than the electric mining drill. Once we had agreed on the design and Arundel finished the concept art, we let Jersey off the chain again. All right, so here's the electric mining drill. Oh, wow. That's pretty cool. It sounds just like a regular mining drill. It's got... Now, it's got these gear wheels on here, as you can see, and as it travels on a track. That's pretty cool. So this is the tungsten, obviously. It's got a dark gray look to it, maybe even a silvery look to it. Okay, that's pretty cool. Now here, oh my god. Okay, so let's read this first before we look at the visuals. It's more than a Vulcanus mining drill. It would be pretty weak if the only use of the big mining drill was to just get tungsten. So it's also a direct upgrade from the normal mining drill in several ways. Much larger mining area of 13 by 13 tiles, plus 4 tiles from the drill edge, which is very convenient when placing them in regular areas like around lava. Harvest is faster with a speed of 2.5 per second compared to 1/2 of the electric mining drill, almost double speed per occupied tile. 4 module slots, so you can insert 3 efficiency modules and 1 speed module to keep -80 pollution while boosting their speed. Additionally, it has a special unique property, the reduction in resource drain by 50%. This new stat means the resource underneath only gets its richness depleted half of the time. In other words, this directly multiplies with the productivity of the drill, and you can imagine how crazy mining productivity can get. Yeah. Better yet, the resource drain percent is affected by quality of the drill. At legendary quality, a big mining drill only drains the resource 17% of the time. Such a drill is mighty expensive, but that research patch you're about to place them on sure is going to last for a while. That's cool. So they're really beefing up these mining. I mean, they really don't need to do that, but I'll take it, I guess. Because with mining prod, you're not going to just keep it going. You know, you just spam a bunch of mining prod research and you're good to go. Now, it could be that mining prod is tougher to get, and that's the case with space exploration. Man, you don't get mining prod till way late. You get 10% every so often in the research tree. Now, look at how fast this thing is mining the copper here. It's like just one mining drill is filling a half blue belt. And who knows if it's even stalling out. But if you put like speed, productivity, and... Well, if you put speed beacons around these and all that, well, you could... Well, you'd have to mod in faster belts, though. But yeah, uranium's cooking there. 2 drills for, looks like a red belt. So 2 for uranium, and then iron is cooking. So iron and copper are about the same. Uranium has a harder richness, or harder mining time. So you'd probably need 4 of these big mining drills to do the uranium. There's your sulfuric acid there. Oh, check it out. What's this now? They've got an input here. Okay, this is weird. Oh, okay, so I see what they're doing. Okay, so they're just mixing the belt with uranium, and they're sorting it out at the end there. Okay, recipes and resources. Apart from these two structures and tungsten processing, Vulcanus has some more differences compared to Novice. Now, this is what's interesting. Okay, sulfuric acid can be mined directly. There's no water on Vulcanus. Water instead created from sulfuric acid. Holy cow. There's no oil, but coal is plentiful, and we have moved coal liquefaction to Vulcanus, also adding a simplified version which doesn't need heavy oil to kickstart it. There is no uranium at all. Lava is used as a resource and processed in the foundry into molten iron and copper, with stone as byproduct. The planet has no natural stone, iron, or copper or deposits as a result. Calcite is a new resource used as a cleaning/purifying ingredient in various recipes, like sulfuric acid neutralization, lava processing, or melting iron and copper ore. Pretty cool. Okay, so there's going to be some, heavier processes, a lot more chains. Conclusion. Most of the additional rules and ideas, together with Arundel's great work on the first prototype version, still remains on Vulcanus to this day. We have just refined the experience over time. When you're focused on designing individual systems, you always aim to get a sophisticated result with intricacies and cool complexities. A small amount of increased complexity was one of our early objectives, but we found that after adding alternate sources, new sciences, and new gadgets, then it was already complicated enough. When you play the game as a whole, you need to automate and take care of so many things, which can quickly become overwhelming. The initial gameplay prototype included more intermediate items and mechanics than we have now, like tungsten would first need to be turned into powder before being processed. Any kind of melting and casting recipe would also output slag, which was used for nothing but reprocessing. Back then, we couldn't void items in lava. Okay. If an intermediate is only ever used for one thing, then perhaps it should be more useful or be removed. Both of these items ended up in a situation where they only slowed down progression, so they were removed. And that's a good thing right there, too. Because a lot of modders, with the overhaul mods, they just go crazy with byproducts. And you never feel like you're progressing. You're just managing byproducts or trying to figure out how to balance something so it doesn't lock up a machine, So yeah, it does. I think that it's important to keep the design of your, game, so to speak, to, more simple. Work on the processes and make them more rewarding than just adding more complexity for no reason. On the other hand, the idea to extract iron and copper from lava was something the first prototype did include, and we discarded it. After some time, we'd realized that just mining iron and copper ore again the same way as on Novice isn't very appealing, so it eventually made it back in. Yeah, that's a good choice right there. I mean, again, it gets boring if it's just repetitive. It's like, well, okay, why am I on this planet? Why not just put it all on Novice then at that point, If you have to build multiple bases, then it's important to reduce points of repetition between planets so that nothing feels stale. Over time, we have consistently tried to simplify and cut excessive things. If something is repetitive but can't be cut, then we can add a new twist or a new shortcut instead. This has been the case since Arundel's initial version and every iteration since. So now we can get through all the planets while keeping the gameplay fresh. Everything presented above is obtained from Trigger Technologies, which asks the player to craft some items specific to Vulcanus. While the foundry and the big mining drill are very exciting when you start using them on planets other than Vulcanus, we still haven't shown what you could unlock with the metallurgic science pack. Perhaps some other time. Please feel welcome to come melt our hearts with your beliefs that only children use the word big for machine names. You won't be wrong. All right, well, there we go. Very, very cool. I'm really thinking, yeah, this is a good thing that they did here. By adding a new mining drill that you can use, it's an upgrade to... Because, yeah, I mean, Factorio Vanilla was really kind of... The mining drills... I really don't understand why they didn't add another tier of mining drill in Factorio base game. It really would have made it, I think, a lot fun, more fun. But there's also this, I gotta upgrade everything. I've got to upgrade everything. I've got to upgrade everything. So you've got antiquated mining drills, and you got new ones. Space Exploration has it where they've got a base, like a vanilla miner. Then they upgrade it with a faster speed, same footprint. Then they got this big mining drill, which completely changes the footprint of everything. That gets frustrating. So when you're trying to run around to different planets and you got, oh, I got old modules over here. Now I got to rebuild this whole planet, you know, and everything in it. Oh, I got, you know, old mining drills over here, and I can't fit all the productivity modules into it. You know, like you only have 3 prod mods. And then you have level 2s. Now you got level 3s, and now I got to rebuild all this crap, and I forgot about it or whatever. So it does add some kind of upgrade path, and that does get annoying. But if you minimize the amount of places you have to go for it, it's a little better. And making it easier to get back and forth to planets is another thing too. Don't make that a task. So yeah, I think I'm pretty confident that they've taken the space exploration mod and whittled it down to its core, and it's hopefully going to be a lot better experience than playing an overhaul mod that's just got all kinds of bloat, you know, and then you get bored of it and you get frustrated. So that's kind of my my hope there. So that'll be cool. I'm looking forward to playing around with these things on Vulcanus. Very good. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the Friday Facts. I'm looking forward to seeing the other planets now. I've seen enough on the Vulcanus planet here, Vulcanus. Give me something else. Let me see what other direction they're gonna go. I have a feeling it's gonna be a frost planet, you know, where there's ice, or, you know, we have to mine a specific resource there. All right, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. See you in the next one. Peace out.